All right, so every single week, ladies and gents, I want to welcome you again to our weekly Fire, Go Sapphire, Fast Start training. We do it every single Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you put that on your calendar, lock it in. Also put on your calendar 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Flight School. These are two staples that we have every single week. And because of the dynamic right now with the pandemic, we have extensive programming every day that you can plug into. We call it Boom TV. And if you go to iBoomerang on Facebook or Instagram, you can look at the schedule each day. I also post the daily schedule in our 3F Global Facebook group. And then we also put it in our chat. We have an accelerated chat that we have for individuals that want weekly accountability. And so that's a group of support and encouragement. If you're not a part of that group, I would strongly recommend that you get plugged into it, because it will give you access to some things that you're not going to have being out of the group. And then all of the leadership groups, the Sapphire and above, and then some of the hardcore blitzers, they have access to the information in their own groups. But just wanted you all to make sure that you're plugged into that so that you're getting your information source. 3F Global is a faith, focus, and freedom page. So it's really about cultivating that faith. Like, that's something that people can relate to in terms of having a vision. Where there's no vision, the people perish. So we want you to understand the importance of having, beginning with the end in mind and working towards your outcome, having that vision, and then the focus to really be on track, not to look left or right, not to get distracted by all the noise, not to be moved by the chatter, especially the chatter that's internal. And then the freedom that comes with that level of discipline. When you commit to your outcome, you take your vision, your picture, and you program it, you put it in the GPS, all right? And you don't stop moving forward until you get there. There might be some detours on your way to your successful outcome, but getting to that destination is non-negotiable, all right? I always like to start off each call that we do each week with some leader chat, leader conversation. We have a lot of really strong leaders that are in this group. And I definitely want to give you all an opportunity to share any achievements within your organizations. You know, sometimes I don't get all of the communication in a timely manner, and I don't want anybody to be left out. Like, I'm going to recognize Larisha out of South Africa, who is a phenomenal leader, great example to her organization. She just got the It Takes Two this week. And she's doing that in the midst of a different level of shutdown. You know, people that live in South Africa and other countries, they don't have the same level of support that we have in the United States or other places. So they're definitely doing a lot more with a lot less, but it's really their mentality and their mindset, their focus, their dedication, their vision. I mean, it's all of those things that are enabling them to continue to create success. And Larisha is a mother of 3, and she's got like little ones, okay? I understand, like you all just saw, I had to pause and go and make a snack for my 5-year-old, but I only have one because my daughter is 14. She's pretty self-sufficient. So I understand what it is for me to have to try to juggle at times, let alone 3 children while building a phenomenal business. And Larisha is not someone that a lot of you are working. You have jobs, or you have other things that you're doing, and you're building your iBoomerang business. She's building her business full time. So the level of commitment and dedication that she demonstrates every day gets me fired up. So I did want to recognize her for being in the It Takes Two group for the month of April, for getting it done in the midst of everything that's going on. She is so supremely focused on where she's going, it's off the chart. So if there's anyone else here, there might be some recognition that I missed, or anything that any of the leaders want to share about what's happening in their group, please feel free to jump in.
Yes, Ed. Merle did another take 2.
Merle did another take 2. Fire. Congratulations, Merle. Well done. Another one. That's what I'm talking about. Doubling up.
I did another take 2, Ed.
Who, Miss Sandra Thomas?
Correct.
You just showing off. That is our Sapphire in South Africa, Sandra Thomas, doing another take 2, sponsoring Machine You Are. Congratulations and well done. Well, that's leading from the front, leading by example. You got me fired up. Anyone else? Going once, going twice. All right. So a couple of things, just so that you all understand what my thinking is, and this is the thinking that I encourage. Sometimes there will be presentations that pop up, and they're not necessarily planned. They might be last minute, and if there's a conflict with that, it's really a game time decision that I'm going to make in terms of if I'm going to promote something or not. It just depends on the timing of it. But I believe that if it's flight school, if it's our weekly team training, if it's between those two things, or you have a prospect that's ready to see a presentation, I want you to get the prospect in front of the presentation. Because you can always watch the recording of what we do. You can hop on to this late. Your priority is getting your prospects in front of a presentation, or you can get them onto the training. Like prospects are welcome. I know I said for this one, I only wanted ambassadors because what we're going to be doing, this wouldn't really benefit prospects. But but for the most part, you can always bring prospects on to what we do. But understand that if it's between you sharing the opportunity with a prospect, or you saying, hey, I can't show you the presentation right now, I got to get on our weekly fast start, or I have to get on flight school. No. You do the presentation and then get on. Okay, that's your number one priority, because you're all here to build a very successful business. I'm sure that you all have noticed what happens when you tap a vein. So you may be familiar with how oil is typically gotten. There is a process of digging. Okay, you're digging in the ground. You have to dig really, really, really deep. You got to drill into the ground. And once you drill, and a lot of times oil men will drill in areas that they think might be lucrative. There might be a lot of oil under the ground. They've seen some indicators, but they're not really sure. And so a lot of times they will start digging and drilling into the ground, and they spend a lot of money and resources to no avail. They don't hit that oil spring. Now, there's a really, really, really good movie that demonstrates this really well. It's called There Will Be Blood. Okay, it's Paul Thomas Anderson and Daniel Day-Lewis stars in the movie. It's a great film for a lot of different reasons, especially for those of us that are in business. It is a great film. So in the film, you see him, he's digging. And at some point throughout the course of the film, they're digging, drilling, and then all of a sudden, everything starts shaking, and then this big gush of oil comes bursting through the ground. And it's so big and so powerful that it blows up the structure that was around the hole. And his son was on the roof, and his son got injured, and it was a very vivid scene. in the film. But throughout the course of the film, you just see the digging. You see the digging and the digging and the digging and the wear and the tear and the digging and the digging and the digging and the digging. And then when he hits that one spot, the gush just comes through. Some of you, if you've been paying attention, you're seeing it in real time. What happens when you're digging and digging and digging and you find a leader? You find a leader that finds leaders, and then there's a gush. I have not been able to keep up with all of the new directors, senior directors, executive directors, sapphires, and rubies that have been popping in the last 8-10 days. I check my phone at least once every 30 minutes, and I swear it's like every time I check, there's a new rank that's been popped. So you all are seeing it in real time. And I have to make this distinction because it's a pet peeve that I have. I gave you all the information of a presentation that was taking place at 3:30, a half an hour before our call, because I wanted you all to know, maybe, like, I don't know, maybe you have a guest sitting right next to you. I didn't want any of you to miss out on an opportunity to do an exposure, because I knew that you could just get on with us later if you had a guest. I know most of you all probably weren't able to grab somebody like that, but I wanted to make that available. And so I was listening too. I was on for probably the first 25 minutes before we had to jump on here. And one of the things that was said was, we achieved diamond in a week. Okay, we achieved diamond in a week. And I understand that what was being said was, hey, from the time we decided to join iBoomerang, and once we joined, it was literally a week and then we were diamond. That is absolutely true. But you have to understand the context, and I've said this before. They were already successful in another company, and they were so excited by the opportunity, and they did the right thing. They took the time to identify the key leaders in their old company and say, listen, we're doing this, whether you're coming or not. Would you be open to having a meeting and to see what we're doing and why we're making the move? And so when they got with their key people and they had the meeting and they made it available to them and they made it clear, we're going whether you're coming or not. Well, see, that made the opportunity for a lot of people to come with them. When you bring leaders, they're going to bring their people. So the reason you'll hear someone say, we hit diamond in a week or a month or what have you, it's not because they just started sponsoring people, like calling people, sponsoring them, and then they signed. No. There was already things in place. So what's important for you all to understand, though, is, and I've said this before, the stories and the ranks that are being created, the diamonds that are walking the stage and being recognized in August, the diamonds that are like the diamonds that hit, okay, July, August, September, those are the stories that let you know how powerful the opportunity is, because those are most of them are going to be new people. Most of them are going to be new, okay? So understanding that what you're experiencing now, you're seeing all of these new directors and senior directors. Well, see, that's what happens when you taproot, you're digging, and then you hit the oil spring. So Larisha did a leadership call with her team. I wasn't on the call, but the call was so good that it got back to me. And one of the things that Larisha was teaching was, listen, she was like, I'm not going to get this exactly right because I said I wasn't there. But she was talking about, hey, we all have challenges, and every leader has struggles that they're going to have to overcome. But you only have to be right twice. You just got to be right 2 times. You got to find one good person on your left and one good person on your right. You're looking for 2 good people, ladies and gentlemen. 2. Now, the reason, and again, I wasn't there, so Larisha, if I'm messing up your training, forgive me. You can fill in the gap when I'm done. You can jump in. But the reason that Larisha was saying you got to be right twice, that's it. Because she understands that the compensation, the way that it's designed, from a financial standpoint, you can make significant income with just 2 people. Now, you have to rank up. You do have to sponsor more, obviously, in order to really maximize the comp plan. But because of the way the compensation plan pays out just on the dual team, you can make significant income, 6-figure income with just 2 people. Now, I want you to think about that every time you're calling people. Look, let me see, Erica Lee is on here. So Erica Lee and I had a conversation. This was last week. And she was like, all right, let's get 2 people. Let's get it done. I think it was last weekend. And we were like, all right, let's get it done. Well, I didn't get it done. I didn't get my 2 people last weekend. I'm still digging. So I am not immune to, what do you call it? Dry spots, okay? Like sometimes you have a really good shooter and then they go through a rough patch where they can't find the basket with a magnifying glass. Like they shooting, but there's nothing that's going in. That happens occasionally, all right? Do you think that I'm panicking? Do you think that I'm worried? Do you see any semblance of doubt or hesitation in my face? Do you hear it in my voice? When you look in my eyes on this Zoom, is there any indicator that I am not 100% certain of my outcome? Because I understand the process of going through numbers. And so I'm willing to go through those numbers until I find what I'm looking for. That's it. It's that simple. I've been doing this for a while, so I've been through rough patches before. Now I admit the first time I went through a rough patch, I was a lot more frustrated because I was so certain of what I brought to the table. I knew that if somebody partnered with me in business, that their life would change. And so I was incredibly frustrated the very first time. When I first got started in network marketing, I was incredibly frustrated that I hadn't identified those people yet. And I felt like the people that I was talking to, I was like, why are you all wasting my time? I was getting annoyed with them, not with myself. I was getting annoyed with prospects that were not smart enough to take advantage of the opportunity. But guess what? I still found what I was looking for. You know why? Because I'm very consistent. The more resistance I get, the harder I go. I want you to write this phrase down. Resistance is the multiplier. I might have told you this already. Resistance is the multiplier. So let's have a call party. We're gonna have some fun right now. We're gonna do some smiling and we're gonna do some dialing. A lot of times people get accustomed to talking. Like it's great that we have we have a lot of calls and we have training. Don't get caught up in the okie doke. All right, don't become spectators of Boom TV and you all are not out here building your business. We get paid for making phone calls and setting up appointments and getting people in front of the information. So what I'm going to do is make some calls and you all can just kind of watch. This is what it looks like. All right, I'm going to show you just how sexy and exciting it is to call prospects. You like that I threw that word sexy in there, right?
You have reached Dr. Sala at Vernon Chiropractic Clinic. Please leave your name, number, and a brief message, and I'll get back to you.
So the first time I dial, I'm not leaving a message. I'll call them back. I really want to get them on the phone, but at least I know that I have the right number. And Dr. Sala is probably taking the day off, Sala, because it's Sunday, which I understand.
We're sorry, you have reached a number that has...
So I can cross that number off my list.
Call has been forwarded to an office. This is Linda. I can't come to the phone right now. Please wait.
I like it when I get a personalized voicemail because it tells me that person actually checks their voicemail. Those are people that I prefer to talk to. They're phone people.
Hello.
Is Ashley Jackson there?
Uh,
That's the wrong number?
yes.
Oh, okay. Is this California?
East California.
I'm sorry?
Yes, East California.
Oh, okay. How are you doing, sir? Are you guys healthy and well in terms of the pandemic?
Everything is fine. Thanks.
Good, good. And are you one of the fortunate people that are able to still work?
Sure.
Are you still working? You know, some people have been put on furlough. They can't work anymore. Are you still able to work, sir?
No, I'm not working.
Okay. And do you have a plan or are you retired?
I don't have access for that one.
Okay. Okay. Well, I know it's a wrong number, but I think there's a right reason. Are you open at all to learning about how you could generate income from home?
No.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for your time, man. And thanks for picking up the call.
No, you're welcome. Thank you for the call.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Man, I'll talk to anybody. Anybody. You see how I turned that wrong number into a possible prospect? You like that? You like how I did that, right? All right. So, we're going to talk about energy signature too. His energy was low, right? Like his energy was not somebody that I would typically be excited to enroll.
Jordan, Tucker.
That was voicemail. Stuart Tucker.
Hello?
Yes, I'm looking for Page Enterprises.
This is Phil.
Phil, how you doing?
Okay.
Good, good. Is your family safe and healthy and well amidst the pandemic?
I think so. Who's calling?
Good. This is Ed Blunt. I got your name off of a list of people that were in the home-based business arena. Are you still in that space?
We've done different things, but not something we're going to be doing now.
Yeah, I could hear it in your voice, but you're probably still working now, right? You haven't been too impacted from it in terms of economic level, have you?
Basically, work every day.
Okay, well, good. I'm happy to hear that you're able to continue working, and I'm sorry to hear that you're not in the home-based business arena anymore. But if you ever change your mind, my number's in your phone. I'm happy to be of service to you.
So what are you doing?
It's a lifestyle technology company. So, you know how Phil, when people get involved, they got to like try to sell stuff to their family and try to build teams and they get a little discouraged. Did you have that experience?
Well,
percentages. I mean, there's always going to be those that will not stick with it, whatever it is.
True. That's true. So what was it for you?
We had a guy we did on back with some various ones, and we had one group going, in fact, Canada and Pennsylvania and different areas. In fact, held meetings every week, all that kind of thing.
Wow.
Things have changed a lot because of two things that changed the world probably more than anything: is communication, transportation. And that's really impacted how a lot of things are done.
I agree.
But, yeah, we're locally here. We own some property, and I work on that most of the time now.
Okay. Well, first of all, that you had that level of experience and success is pretty cool. As you know, that puts you in the top 2 or 3% of people in any profession, period.
Yeah.
Well, let me run this by you really
So
quickly.
where are you at?
So here's what we did. We created a model where you
No,
can.
I mean, where do you live?
I'm in Cleveland. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio.
Really?
Yeah.
Our son's been to, I think it was in Cleveland. He went to running. Yeah, our son was in Cleveland not all that long ago. He's working with some people there.
Is he still here?
No, he lives in Des Moines.
Okay.
But he was in Cleveland, and he's done various things with property, and I think he's wanting to do some more with it now. So he's went through an MIT course, and he went to Boston, and he went to California, Florida. He's explored quite a few different things, and Cleveland was one of the places he went.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, he's out for a bike ride this afternoon, and that's what we're getting ready to do right now, in fact.
Love it. I love it. I appreciate you taking the time out. I don't want to take any more of it. Do you have Uber on your phone?
Barely caught me.
Yeah. Do you have an Uber app on your phone?
Do I have a what?
Uber. Do you use Uber at all? No.
No.
Okay, but you're familiar with it, right?
Don't have a need to.
Yeah. Do you do social media at all?
Try to stay away from it.
Understood. Listen, Phil, you're in the zone. You're in the I am doing what I want and I'm having fun. And if I want to be left alone, I can be left alone. I definitely respect that. Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, how about this? Would it offend you if I just sent you a link on who we are? And if you want to look at it, great. If not, that's okay too.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, fair enough. Well, enjoy your bike ride, and I've enjoyed talking to you for a little bit, and continue to stay safe and healthy.
You do as well. Thank you.
All right, Phil, take care now.
You do as well.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So what I'll do with him is I will send him an I decide, because I can track it when he watches it. And then I'm going to send him some information on myself. So a lot of times when I send people a message, I'll put in, I'll say Facebook, Instagram. It's Ed Blunt on all my pages, so I'm easy to locate. That way, if they want to dig around and learn a little bit more about me, they can do that. And they're gonna, if they start looking at my posting, then they're gonna know something is really cooking, right? So part of what we're doing when we're calling people and reaching out, this is why social media is so important. You have to put things on social media, and I'm working to get better at it. Put things on social media that are like little commercials about your business, without being. I'm not talking about posting on your Facebook page, join my iBoomerang business. That's ridiculous. And don't put price comparisons either. That's corny. But if you notice, I do it on my story. I put new ranks on my story because I know it's going to be gone in 24 hours. But it gives people something to look at because they tend to look at stories. And then, you know, with posting, I'll put something positive up. I'll put something about the industry. But when I'm sending prospects, I'm doing it for prospects only. I don't care about people that I'm friends with or who's already in iBoomerang. I ain't thinking about none of y'all. I'm focusing only on prospects when I post. That's all I'm thinking about. So that if Phil goes and checks me out, he's gonna have something to look at, all right? So I'm saying, Phil, great talking with you. Congratulations on your success and relaxed lifestyle. Here's the info we discussed. Okay, so I put that in there. I have the iDecide link. And then I have put my name at the bottom because he probably doesn't remember my name because we were talking for so long. So I put my name in there. And then I just put Ed Blunt, Facebook, IG, YouTube. Which he's not on any of those things anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But if he watches the link, he'll be intrigued. Okay. Take that one out.
Hey, this is Rachel. I'm unable to take your call right now, but feel free to leave a message and I'll call you.
So that's good. Again, I love getting voicemails where they actually leave a real voicemail. It lets me know they're engaged. It lets me know that they use it. And I have a pretty good chance of getting them on the phone in the next 24 to 48 hours for sure.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 970.
Those I don't care for, because when it's automated like that, it's going to be hit or miss if they're even engaged on their phone at a conversational level. What that typically means is they're texters. So that was 10 dials. Okay, we were on the phone for about 15 minutes. So that was 10 dials, 15 minutes. I got 2 people that I actually had a conversation with. One person told me they were not interested. And the other person is open is open to taking a look. So give me just some feedback on what did you learn just from me doing 10 dials live and the conversations that I had. What were some of the takeaways?
Hi, Ed, it's Michelle.
Hey.
I really think that's a skill. That's not something that comes naturally to a lot of people. I think you can learn that skill,
Yep.
the way you phone and talk to people, but it's definitely a skill that needs to be learned.
Okay, do you think it's a difficult skill to learn?
Well, not for me, because I'm a professional cold caller, so not really, but I think a lot of people struggle with that.
No, I mean, think about, Michelle, when you first started. How long did it take for you to become proficient? Not mastery, but at least proficient. You're muted, Michelle.
Sorry, Ed. It took me quite a while, I've got to be honest. A
I
good,
want you to.
it took me a long time to be confident to do it.
How long?
Oh gosh, I would say at least over a year.
Okay. How many hours a day were you putting into it?
I should have put in probably 2 to 3, and then I didn't because I was quite scared to do it. Yeah, as the month went on, I did it more and more. Now I do it about 3 to 4 hours a day.
Okay, so let's be fair. So when you first were doing it, how often, like how much time do you really honestly would say you were doing it a day? How much time per day when you were scared and didn't want to do it?
About half an hour.
Right. Okay. Now, let's just say, ladies and gents, for the sake of argument, and that's 5 days a week.
No, I didn't do it 5 days a week because it scared me.
How many days a week?
Probably 2 to 3.
2 to 3. Okay. So let's break this down. If she said 2 to 3, I'm going with 2. Let's just say she was doing 60 minutes a week. Okay. That's 4 hours a month. 4 times 12 is 48. So let's call it 60 hours. Let's say Michelle spent 60 hours getting good at something that she hated, that made her nervous, that made her want to throw up, that made her uncomfortable, but she put in 60 hours. Ladies and gents, if you just did 3 hours a day, you could do the exact same thing in 30 days. You could build the same level of proficiency in a month that it took Michelle a year to do, because what she said is 100% true. What most people do is like when you learn to ride a bike, but if you get on a bike and you don't pedal, but you want to learn and you're on the bike, what's going to happen? You're going to tip over. You get back on the bike. Now you're even more frightened because you scuffed up your elbow. You take a pedal or two, but you're going really, 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 really slow. What's going to happen? You're going to tip over again. Now you scuffed up the same mark. It's getting sore now. Now you don't even want to get on the bike. And this is how people do in their business when it comes to learning this very simple skill. They go really, really slow, and so it takes forever. And that whole year could have been condensed literally in a few weeks.
Amen.
You're
So
100% correct.
that's the beauty of our business. It's just you got to make a choice. So yeah, it is a skill, but at some point it becomes second nature. So the way that I practiced was, we have this thing called the white pages. I don't know what you all have in terms of directories, depending upon what city or state or country that you're in. We used to have a directory, and it was the white pages, and it had all these names and numbers of people that were in your city. And you could literally just open up the white pages and start dialing. So I would purposefully go, because I lived in an apartment at the time, so they would leave white pages when they, once a year or whatever it was. So I just grab one, and I would do A's on Monday, B's on Tuesday, C's on Wednesday. Now, I never enrolled one person from the white pages, ever. However, I got really good because I would do a lot of calls, and it was my gym time. It was like, that was my workout time, because I would do that during the day, so that when I got on the phone with my hot list from my phone, when I was calling people that I had some level of relationship with, my posture was so much stronger because I had practiced on people I didn't know. Because I didn't care. Like, I don't know you. You don't know me. What you going to do? I got hung up on. I mean, so that's part of the process. And when the guy says to me, I'm not interested, okay, cool. Like, thanks for picking up the call. Thanks for having a conversation. He was nice about it. I'm great. Like, people hang up on me. People send me text messages, stop calling me. I don't care. I don't care. There's 6-7 billion people on the planet. And hundreds of millions of people right now are looking for something to do. So you have to decide for yourself, what's the level? Like, how bad do you want it? That's really all it comes down to. How bad do you want it? It's not the skill, it's the will. If you have the will, you'll develop the skill. But if you think you're going to develop the skill without the will, then you're going to keep delaying and procrastinating and putting things off and not working through your numbers. So for any of you that are on here, here's something else that I did. I was talking with Erica about this because I did it with her. I said, look, I know you're not engaged right now. I called some people in my group and I said, I know you're not, I didn't say this to them. I told them what my goal was. I know they're not engaged. I didn't tell them this. I said, I know, but in my head, I know they're not engaged. So I said, look, I have a goal. So in order for me to achieve 100,000 a month, I have to do stepstone goal. So I got to get to 40,000 a month. So would you be willing to provide me with your contact list? Just give me 10 contacts at a time. Let me work your contacts. And then I'll tell you when I need 10 more. Because I want to make sure that my mom and my dad are really, really well set up in the final stages of their life. I want them to have everything they want. But I can't do that until I get to 40,000 a month. So I shared with them what my goal was. Because I understand that sometimes people will do more for someone else than they will for themselves. And I got those lists. They each gave me 10. I worked them. I had someone that I got on the presentation yesterday. I got 2 more people coming on the presentation tonight. So I'm working through the list. Why? Because I've already gone through every single contact in my phone. There's nobody in my phone that hasn't told me no. There's nobody in my phone that's not in my funnel. They've said, hey, I want to join. I don't have the money right now. So they've either told me no or they're in my funnel. There's not one name or number in my phone that you can pull up and ask me if I've talked to and I haven't talked to them. So now I got to start digging, right? So now I dig through the contacts of the people that I already have a relationship with. And that's how you do it. You have an endless supply of people to talk to. And like Larisha said, you only have to be right twice. You're looking for one good person on your left and one good person on your right. And here's what I love most about it. I am on my left and my right. So it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I want to get there as fast as humanly possible. I'm lagging right now. My ass is dragging right now. It's not going fast enough for me. I want to get there as fast as humanly possible. So hopefully this gave you all some perspective and some understanding. And the best thing that you have going for you is that when you go to the Team Royalty Worldwide page and you see what's happening on that page every single day, you can never, ever say it doesn't work. No one can ever tell you it doesn't work. No one can say to you, well, I don't have experience. Well, I don't have a strong net. None of that matters, because every single person that you see, not every single person, but a lot of people that you see that are winning, they have no experience. They got, I love the story about the guy driving 70 to 90 hours a week, driving a truck, but he still hit emerald. Like, I love stories like that. So you have a living, breathing testimonial. You have the support. You got leaders that are leading from the front, like Sandra Thomas and Larisha and Merle. You got people that are stepping up their game. And directors are popping, like, I swear, hourly. It feels like directors are popping hourly. That, like, when I look at it, and I write them all down. I got a whole list because I am systematically promoting that. It's a little commercial. Why? Because I want everybody to understand. I want to irritate people that have not joined yet. I want people that I've already shown. I want to haunt them. I want to haunt them one of the gentlemen that I worked with in my previous company, he talked about haunting people. Like, I just want to haunt you. If you told me no or you didn't get started, I want you to be like, I want you to question your whole freaking life. By the time I get done, in terms of what I'm going to do and what I'm going to build, I want anybody that didn't get started, I want them to question their existence. Like, what the hell have I done? Because if you don't join me now, you're going to join me later. So I appreciate you all hopping on. Have an awesome and amazing rest of your soulful Sunday. We'll be back here same time, same station next week. Let's keep making it do what it do. We have about 4 days remaining for the month of April. So I'm focusing on getting in the It Takes Two Club myself. I want to get that done. Whatever your goal is, I just pray that you put forth the effort to achieve it, because there's just too much success, opportunity, and prosperity happening right now in the space that we're in for you not to all get what you came for. So it's there for you. You just have to go get it. Much love, you all. Have a great day.
Thanks, Ed.